history student I hired as my guide in Dakar asked me whether I wanted to spend a few days in the tribal community in the bush. No electricity, no running water, no toilet facilities. I said, yes, that's slow travel. I became in love with slow travel after that point. And the moment I knew I had hit it is I went to Estoril, Portugal, which is a few train stops outside of Lisbon. And the apartment that I was in, the beach was in one direction and the train was in the other direction. I had gone to the beach before the day before. So I took the train. I rode to Cascais, which is the Portuguese Riviera. Who knew? I got a wonderful Thai massage, a little lunch, and then I wandered back to the train going in the other direction and passed by Estoril, and I saw this beautiful historic park. I jumped off the train and hit the park, and I found a local dog show, which I enjoyed. All manner of dogs. It was not something I planned. It was just something I stumbled upon, and I enjoyed the historic park as well. On the way home, I went to the small market in Estoril, and I got some cheese, and some wine, and some fresh fruit. Took it back to the apartment, and I enjoyed eating it on the balcony, watching the sunset on the Atlantic. That was just a Tuesday. I wasn't visiting anymore. I was living there. Everything about that seemed right. I'm Aoife Grady, and welcome back to Ageless AI Collective. We're talking about slow travel today. And here's something that blew my mind. I found that slow travelers save 20 to 35% over a 1 week stay in the same destination as a tourist. I'm going to show you how that math works in a moment. But also, I built something for you, a calculator. The calculator will show you whether you're ready, how much it would cost, and where to start. You'll see me using that on screen in a few moments. But first, this video is for you. If you are 50 or older and done rushing through places just to say that you've been there, and if you're ready to actually slow down and live somewhere instead of just passing through, this is the slow travel revolution. Let's go. So, what does slow travel actually mean? The definition is simple. You stay in one place for weeks or months at a time. You're not hitting 5 cities in 8 days. You're not living out of a suitcase, rent an apartment, Airbnb. You find your coffee shop. You learn which market has the best produce. You inhabit a place. You live there. Now, I want to knock down 3 things people believe about slow travel that simply are not true. Myth 1, it's expensive. We're going to look at some actual numbers in a moment, and this one is really going to surprise you. Myth 2, it's lonely. The opposite is true. When you stay somewhere long enough, you stop being a tourist and stop being a neighbor. You build real connections with locals, with other slow travelers, with expat communities. The loneliness risk is actually higher when you're rushing from place to place and never going deep anywhere. Myth 3, it's risky. Again, the opposite. When you know a place, when you have a routine, when you have a local pharmacist or doctor, if that's what you need, you've already met, you actually have more safety infrastructure than you do as a tourist. 50 wins at slow travel. Here's the thing nobody talks about. This age group is uniquely positioned to do slow travel well, better than people in the 30s who are trying to figure it out. We have time, or we're building toward having it. We have wisdom. We've navigated enough in life that a new country doesn't send us into a panic. We have flexibility that younger travelers are desperately trying to manufacture. And we don't have school schedules, sports seasons, or any of the other calendars that put walls around younger families. This isn't the consolation prize version of travel. This is actually the best version, and we're the ones positioned to live it. What inhabiting a place feels like. Let me make this concrete with a place I know. When I went to Portugal, I stayed in Estoril, which is a few train stops outside of the city of Lisbon. On my first day there, I asked the woman whose apartment it was, because I had a room and a bath inside of an apartment, and I had access to everything. Anyway, she showed me where the market was, and I went to the market and bought breakfast stuff, eggs and cereal, milk, orange juice, and some bread. Instead of going back to the apartment, I decided to have breakfast at one of the little places there. There were, two restaurants and the grocery store and a couple of small places that specialized in coffee and cheese. Then I went to the beach, which was just a few steps down the stairs, and I just sat there watching people and the ocean, and just chilling and watching. Well, somehow after a while or so, I got drawn into a tug of war between two groups. I can't say I brought much to the game. I'm about 120 pounds, but uh, my side won. There were about 10 on each side. But the funny thing was that I ran into people from that tug of war over the next couple of weeks that I was in Lisbon. I saw some of them on the train. I saw a couple at one of the restaurants one evening, and I joined them, and we had an enjoyable dinner together. But I just kept running into the people from that tug of war, and it was like a rite of passage for me, and it was like an instant family, instant grouping. We had something in common, and we laughed about that, and I really felt part of the place because there were people that I knew, people that I waved to and stuff, just like I actually lived there. So that's the kind of thing that you can do when you're just kind of relaxed and just hanging out in a location. Now, here's where I want to be honest with you about something. Before I used AI, planning this type of trip became really overwhelming to organize. Not the living part. I'm pretty good once I get to the location. It was the research, the logistics, the decision fatigue before the trip even started. I did lots of Googling. I had 10, 15 tabs open, and I'm circling and trying to find the information, and I'm sometimes more confused than I was when I started. Sometimes I'd give up and just book something that was familiar. What changed when I started using AI, not as a search engine, but as a thinking partner? I could put all of my constraints in of my money, my mobility, my comfort level, and have it work out those details for me. And I'm going to show you exactly how I do that now. This is the calculator I built for you. It's free. The link is in the description for the comments. Let me fill it out for a real life destination so you can follow along. And I am going to set my budget for $1,000 a month. I want to stay 2 weeks traveling solo. I'm fully mobile. And here it's like your comfort level with logistics. I'm pretty comfortable. So I move this up. I'm going to pick Thailand because I've not been to Thailand, and a lot of my friends are going to Thailand. So here it is. And it tells me on the screen, Chiang Mai, Thailand works well for your budget. Your $1,000 a month cushion covers meals out, local excursions. It says $100 a month, but I actually selected $1,000 a month. Anyway, AI trip planning prompt. Try this. I'm planning a 2 week slow travel stay in Chiang Mai with $1,000 a month budget, and I'm a solo traveler, 50 plus. Help me find a neighborhood that build a weekly rhythm, and there's 3 things I should research before going. So here I'm going to select create my Chiang Mai Thailand plan with AI. Okay, that gave me a prompt, And here's my personalized prompt that I would copy and paste and put into Claude or ChatGPT. Step one, open Claude or ChatGPT, start a new conversation and paste it in, hit send. And my prompt is I'm planning a slow travel stay and need your help building a personalized plan. Here are my details. This is my destination. I'm a solo traveler, etc. Please give me neighborhood recommendations, weekly rhythms, etc. So I am going to do that. I'm going to copy this prompt right here. Copy. Now I'm going to a new chat here in Claude. Now I'm going to open Claude, or you can use ChatGPT. I'm going to paste in the prompt. I'm planning a slow travel stay and need your help building a personalized plan. I put in all the details from the calculator and send. And so here it'll take a couple of minutes. All right, it says good. I've got plenty to work with. Let me build this plan. Okay, got a lot to work with. It's building my neighborhood. Okay, and this is giving me Santitham, which is sandwiched between Niman and the old city. It did not suggest Niman, slightly overpriced, but it said Sintam is a better choice. And then for the local rhythm, we've got Monday, a slow morning at the cafe, a grocery run. On Tuesday, explore a new district on foot or a rented bicycle, a Thai massage, a little excursion into Doi Sutep, etc. And here it gives me three things to research before I go. Your visa type, 2 weeks on a tourist visa entry, clearly works for most Western passport. No visa needed. Chiang has a serious way. Okay. Annual haze burning season, February, April, where air quality can be unhealthy. So you might want to skip that season. And it says book your first nights on Airbnb and then see what it's like, and perhaps book another place for the other week. Logistics on the visa. This one did not give me the information on the SIM card, not to get the SIM card on the at the airport, but it's talking about the other logistics. It's on the visa, etc. Excellent, excellent outcome. But it lets me know the suggestion where to stay, where when not to go, how many days to book at one time, and what a whole week would look like. It's the essence of slow travel. Let's talk about the three barriers, the real ones, and how AI helps you get past each one. Barrier one is cost. And this is the one that surprises people most. Look at these numbers. A conventional tourist week in Lisbon, a perfectly normal hotel at $120 a night, eating out every meal because you have no kitchen, doing the tourist thing, runs you about 1610 for 7 days. That's $230 a day. A slow travel month in the same city, a furnished apartment, groceries, cooking most of your own meals, living like a local, runs you about 1800 for 30 days. That's $60 a day. 1 week as a tourist costs you nearly what an entire month of slow travel actually costs. That number usually needs a moment to land, so I'll leave it there. Barrier two is logistics overload. And this is the one that kills more trips than anything else. Not lack of money, not lack of time, the sheer volume of decisions and research. Where do I stay? Which neighborhood? What about healthcare? What do I need to know about visas? What if something goes wrong? AI doesn't make these decisions for you. What it does is handle the research volume so you can focus on the actual choices. You bring the judgment, AI brings the legwork. That combination works. Barrier three is fear, specifically the fear that something will go wrong and you'll be far from home and alone with it. This is real. I'm not going to tell you it isn't, but the answer to fear isn't avoidance, it's preparation. And this is exactly what AI earns its place. This is prompt number 4 from the prompt card. It's a safety and practical research briefing. You run this before you book anything. You put in your destination, your profile, your duration, and you get back a grounded, honest picture of what you actually need to know. Not a tourist board description, real information. Knowing what you're walking into is not the same as being in danger. It's the opposite. Now, you can pause right here and copy this if you want it now. Or it's in the prompt card in the description with all 5 prompts formatted and ready to go. But what about your family's concerns? And then there's the question nobody puts on a travel blog, but everyone over 50 deals with. What about my family? Your adult children who think you're being reckless, your sister who sends you news articles, the people who love you and express it as worry. The honest answer is you don't fully resolve it. You inform them, you check in, you give them the contact details they need, and then you go on and live your life. That's what you'd want for them too. So, here's where we land. I want you to do one thing before closing out this video. Just one. Open the calculator. The link is in the description. Pick a destination, someplace that you've thought about even once. Any destination. Fill it out, hit the button, paste the prompt into Claude, see what happens. That's it. You don't have to book anything. You don't have to tell anyone. You're just finding out what's actually possible for you. Even a 2-week stay counts. That's how I started. Also, there's a PayHip bundle that includes the calculator plus the full prompt card with all of the prompts that I use today. The link is in the description. If this opened up something for you today, a possibility you talked yourself out of, or something that moved from someday back to the list, hit subscribe. Each episode, we share real life tools that you can actually use in your real life. Not theory, not inspiration porn, tools. The link for the free calculator and the PayHip bundle are both in the description. And I want to hear from you. Drop a comment. Where is your slow travel destination? If the planning wasn't a problem, where would you go? Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.